Hi, this is Matthew again to do another album in my viewing the Who albums backwards because I can. We were on Endless Wire last time, in the last video I did this series, and we are now going back 24 years, back to 1982 when I was very young and didn't even know who the Who were because I was a baby. For It's Hard, back in 1982. It's the final one to have John Entwistle on it on bass. He died in 2002. I had forgotten that. I thought it was a little bit later, but it was 2002. And he died. I remember it, listening to that he had died. I just didn't know what it was. I'd forgotten. And I have lost the name of the drummer again. Kenny Jones. It's his last album as Keith Moon's replacement drummer. We'll get to his first one next time. I do like this one. I hadn't heard it before. I'd heard a couple of songs from it, but not anything else. But I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go through it here. Again, from the Wikipedia page about the album. Well, everything is by Pete Townsend unless otherwise noted here when they talk about it. I guess in '97 they added 4 tracks from a Toronto concert. That's the album I listened to out of Apple Music from. It was the expanded edition, I believe it was called. But I think those bonus tracks on it. It's the only one that I could find to listen to, so I did. We start with one I had heard, but I didn't know the name of it. Of course, on side 1, we have Athena, which I really like. It's got horns in it, and the drumming is very Keith Moon in places, even though it's not Keith Moon, but you could be fooled to think it was him in the way the guy drums. On here, Vega track, a little different, but I like it. I like horns, so yeah, a little bias there. It's Your Turn, which I believe I think John Entwistle on vocals. I think lots of just things that sound like it's a '71 Who album again on here, but it's not. But it certainly sounds like it in places. Yeah, John Entwistle wrote this one. I believe he sings on it, if I recall. When we get to who played on it, we'll make sure of that. And then Cooks County, which I guess Pete Townsend had heard about the hospital. He'd seen something about it and made a song around it. In fact, I guess when they played in Chicago, this was played instead of It's Hard on that show. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Lots of neat tracks on here, in my opinion. It's Hard. There's the title track. I like that one. Yeah, Pete Townsend writes them, but Roger Daltrey's on vocals for most of them. Pete Townsend's on several. Definitely makes his presence felt vocally anyway, which is kind of cool. Like one of the live tracks, I didn't know what he sounded like. He's a very Cockney British accent. I'd never heard them talk, so I didn't know what he sounded like. And the next one is Dangerous. John Entwistle wrote that one too. I think it was Pete Townsend who sang it, but he wrote it. Good stuff. And the one that gets in my head all the time is Eminence Front. Constantly in my head. I don't know why. It just always gets in my head. The drums are different here too. They're very like a lot of reverb echo stuff. And he plays the bass. John Entwistle does almost like it's a guitar, but it's clearly a bass. He's doing some really interesting notes that I don't usually hear bass players play. And it sounds very interesting. He had an interesting style of bass anyway, and his sound was so different. But yeah, I do like this one a lot. Apple Music has a promo video of this song. As the only music video in mono. It was done live somewhere. His mic is it kind of peaks the recording a little bit. It's kind of distorted in a way, almost. It's just kind of on the edge of that. This would have still been the time when MTV videos weren't quite mainstream just yet. MTV had launched the year previously. I'll talk about that next time. There's a track they played from the opening day of it that I'll talk about. But yeah, this I didn't hear the whole thing, but it clearly was a live because it was not the same mix. It wasn't the same performance. It was the way he did it live on the bonus track. So I'm assuming it was a live recording. There was no crowd noise in it, but it was clearly a live recording. Then you would flip the record over to side 2 if you had one, or a tape even. And then you would get I've Known No War, which is pretty good. I like the whole thing. It just there's even some ballads and stuff. I just really enjoyed it. One Life's Enough is next. One at a Time is next. John Williams wrote that one as well. So several tracks on here. And then why did I fall for that? Followed by A Man Is a Man, which is a good track. Very catchy. And then Cry If You Want is the last track of the original album. Yeah, very nice kind of drum and rolly kind of song. It's kind of cool. I like it. Anyway, and then we had a couple of lives here. The reissue bonus track to 97. What if it says where they're from? Doesn't. No, does not say. It's Hard was the first one that they put on that for live, and then it had Eminence Front, which talking about how thank you for buying the album and stuff on there. And then we have Dangerous, it was a song, and then we rounded out with Cry If You Want, which is it becomes a 7-minute track instead of like a 2 or 3 minute track, with some jams and stuff in it, I think, if I remember right. There was a reissue in 2022, which I don't know where that version is on Apple Music. That version has Eminence Front, Pete and Roger vocals. I will have to find this version. I love that song. I need to go hear it. So, I'll see if I can track it down somewhere. Cry If You Want Early Alternative Mix is the next one. One Lives Enough, Pete vocals. Sometimes just vocals only. Dangerous 1997 unedited mix. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't. That would have been neat to have heard. I'll have to go and find that and hear those extra tracks on there. Our personnel, of course, included Roger Daltrey, lead vocals, rhythm guitar, backing vocals on Eminence Front, one at a time. Sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. Pete Townsend, lead and rhythm guitars, Yamaha E7 organ on Eminence Front, and backing vocals. Yeah, there's some neat synthesizer kind of stuff on here too, which I like. I like 70s and 80s synthesizers anyway, and it just, it's nice early 80s, kind of early 80s synthesizer sounds going on. Oh, Lynn vocals on Eminence Front, colored vocals on Athena and Cooks County as well. That makes sense. So then was a little bass guitar, horns, backing vocals, lead vocals on One at a Time, and backing vocals on stuff also. But yeah, so he's playing all the horn parts. Cool. I think it's just mostly trumpet, but it sounds really good. Kenny Jones was on drums. Additional people on here were Any fair weather low rhythm guitar on It's Your Turn. Tim Gorman keyboards, electric piano on Eminence front. And that is all it shows for personnel. Just a couple of additional people on there. Glenn Dawes was the producer and engineer. Okay, yeah, that's cool. He was very still in demand back then. As a producer of many people over the years. Elton Astley was executive producer, and that's who helped master the album in '97 and stuff to get it sounding good. No, is that important? No. Yeah, that's that. Did pretty well here and in the UK. I forget what it turned out number-wise, but it was in the top, 10-win place, kind of top 20. I think the UK got to 8, maybe got to 11 here, or something like that. Did pretty well, I thought. Very respectable numbers. I like it. I would have bought it, and probably played it quite a bit at the time. I guess the band doesn't really like it too much with that one in the album that I'll review next from '81. It was after Keith Moon had died, and they didn't know if they wanted to do stuff anymore. They weren't sure what they were doing, but I really enjoyed it. I really like the sounds on it. The songs are pretty good. Drumming is great by Kenny Jones. I think if I remember right, I heard an interview with him. He had learned all of the songs that Keith Moon's drumming parts on. But yeah, I think he does a good job. He almost fools you as being Keith Moon just a little bit. Some of his fills and things that Keith Moon did. Yeah, I really liked it. It's really good, I think. Go give it a listen to on anywhere where the Who catalog is for streaming stuff. I'm not sure where that other album is. I'll have to go and look. Because you go into albums, it only shows that 97 bonus track one with the live songs. I don't know if they have the other one. I'm sure they do, because it's only from 22. I'm surprised it didn't default to that one, but it didn't. I'll have to go look again. And besides that music video for Eminence Front that I was talking about, is the only other video. That's the only video you can watch, at least on Apple Music. Probably other places I would think would have that, but yeah, I thought it was a solid release. I know a lot of other people don't seem to like it, but I thought it was very solid. Nice release, a lot of very Who-sounding guitars and things from like the early 70s, mid-70s sounds almost in spots, and really some drum effects and synthesizers and things from the early 80s, but you almost can't tell it's an 80s album, honestly, in most of it. Yeah, but I guess originally there had been some mixing issues. I don't know what they were that were fixed in the 97 version, but I don't know. I haven't heard any other version to know what they were, if I could have spotted them. So if anyone knows what they are, I'd like to know. Just curious what they might have fixed, and it'd be fun to hear it in the other form. But yeah, I don't know what it was called or what it was. I haven't heard that version, so yeah. Nice solid release, I think. The live tracks are kind of cool. Be cool to hear those kind of other versions. Surprised that there's no Super Deluxe of this one yet. I would think they would include those on a Super Deluxe. They would include them on some other disc on there to talk about them, but hopefully they will at some point put out a Super Deluxe of all of their albums. They have some of them, not all, which is sad. The big ones have it, but most of the other ones don't. Yeah, that's the Who. It's hard. I did enjoy it, as I said, so give it a listen at least once. Eminence Front, make it in your head like it does mine, and you have to keep playing it all the time. So, I do like that. Whatever reason, I do like that track a lot. I think I will see you guys next time in another video of some sort. It could be the next album in my series about The Who in reverse order, or it could be something else. But I will see you guys later in another video.